Simon. Really good to see you. Obviously, disappointing last week. Now it's been a few days afterwards. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good. Disappointing with the result. Conceding 50 is not nice at any time. But in honesty, watching it back again, I think there were probably a handful of tries that look of the bounce, and one would kick off, drop it, hit the crossbar. There's those little bits where if we take away 50% of the bloopers, and then there was some we should have solved. And then there's probably 3, maybe 4 that we probably should have scored. So it ends up getting the game a little bit closer, but it's ifs and buts, isn't it, obviously, after the fact. But no, look, they're a good team. They did a good job and deserved to win. However, I think should we earn ourselves a trip back there, which is the aim, I don't think we've got anything to fear, and I think it probably taught us a little bit about how you need to play against them. So, yeah, all in all, we're going there as major underdogs, and we got what every other team bar Toulouse have got, which is hiding on the other side of it. So it's not the end of the world, but like any of them, that one's finished now. You roll into the next one, and we've got a lot to play for. So, yeah, happily moving into Whitehaven.
We talked about this briefly a few weeks ago, but you have always said that the streak is going to end at some point. But what a streak. I mean, if you look at the first month of the season to where we are now, and you've had such an incredible streak, we're potentially going to be in the top 3. Like, what's going through your mind right now?
Yeah, I don't think I've had the time. I probably won't put any time into reflecting on all that just yet. But just briefly, I think we've had a really good year, particularly after that rough start where a lot of doubters, those close to it, we all believe in ourselves and what we're capable of, and the outside noise certainly doesn't help. But yeah, if we'd have said top 6, never mind top 3 or 4, depending on how it all plays out, on the bus on the way back from Oldham, after a pretty bad loss, we'd have ripped the hand off and we'd have took that. So yeah, we can't complain. We've done well. I think in the end you get where you deserve. Look, I think I'd be lying if I didn't rue the fact we lost to Oldham, because we'd have been 2 points better off now and in a better scenario. And then also the Bradford away, that one still hurts a bit. 14-0 up and to throw it away, that hurt a bit. Bloody hell, they all hurt, don't they? The Toulouse one, we switched off for 20 minutes and they scored 30 points or something. They're a great side. But then obviously, off the back of that, we turned up for the next 50 minutes or so after that, and we give them a good game. So yeah, you get what you deserve, and we haven't rued them points too much. However, I think we could have been a little bit comfier now.
With 2 games left of the regular season, as a coach, do you kind of shift the focus in any way, or is it just still a game is a game, you just take it the same as every other game?
Yes and no. I think momentum, you hear coaches talk about that momentum going into playoffs, and that it does play a part. So as much as winning is nice and important, I think playing the way you need to play and hitting the sort of targets that we set internally for ourselves and our performance is important to keep doing that, because we know it works when we get it right. So we're aiming to do that. We want wins, obviously. This week, Whitehaven's a big one. They're going well. Whitehaven's a tough place to go. It's got all those little extra bits of the drive up there and all that. It's an excuse, I suppose, if you want to use it as an excuse, which we won't be. We'll be doing our best in spite of all of that. But also on an emotional level, it's there as well. So they've got Jesse Joe, I believe, is playing his last home game for Whitehaven. Been a long servant to rugby league and a real fan favourite up there. So I'm sure it'll turn out for him. So it'll be a hostile and partisan crowd, no doubt. But yeah, we've got reasons to go well as well. It's actually Scott's 400th game of his career, so which is a massive milestone that not many people get to. So we've got a little emotional side, but also on the professional and mateship side of it, we want to finish the season on our terms. We want to finish as high as we can, which means we've got 2 games to control, and we've got a big part to play in them. And we, if we can control what we can, really go with the right attitude, I think there's no reason why we can't do a job up there. But it's certainly not going to be an easy game. I'm sure it'll be a tight one and really good to watch.
And you mentioned there about the key milestone for Scott Grix, and for you, with your coaching hat on, do you think that Scott's game has kind of changed at all since his first appearance, or how different is it from his first ever appearance?
Obviously different. He's picked up a lot of experience along the way, and I think we're a better team when Scott's in it from that experience. He's done it the hard way. I'm not going to get into a lovey-dovey because he's my brother and I'll get hammered for it, but he did it the hard way. I was fortunate. I sort of come through at a time, a couple of years behind him, where there were national camps, Yorkshire camps, opportunities to get seen, basically. He missed that, didn't get signed up when everyone gets signed up, 16s. Played first team down at Siddle, and then he's had to move around, got told a lot he was never going to make it, and 400 games later, I think he can be really proud of that. We're certainly proud of him, and yeah, he's someone I feel, and I hope he didn't annoy him or do him a disservice at all. But he's got some skill, but I don't think his game or his career has been based on that. I think he's wanted it more than many more others, and he's fought for every bit of it, and he's earned it. So yeah, it's a big one. Milestones are big games, and the lads will be well aware of it. And we want to go and have a good game, so it's a memorable milestone. We've had a few this year, 50s, 100s, 150s, whatever they might have been, and we haven't nailed them, and we've made it a bit of a sour memory for some. So a big one like that, I'd like us to really do a good job for Scott, but first and foremost for us.
And in terms of Whitehaven, they've been a team that's battled, their way up the table. Do you anticipate a more of a technical game or a physical game, or a bit of both from them? Yeah,
a bit of both. I think they're a really good team. I think coming up from League One, obviously the season was cancelled last year, so we didn't see them, but I think the expectation is you come up and you struggle. That's what everyone else sort of expects you to do, as with respect Oldham did. They've come up, and I think Gary has done a really good job with them. He's got a good mix of those proud Cumbrian lads that are always tough to play against, home and away, but he's brought in some really good players in Williams, Walmsley, and they've got a mix of a few Australian players in there that have done really well for him. They've got that right. They play a nice brand of rugby where they make every match a contest. They're consistent in what they do. They're pretty good at it. They're in every game, as they were when we played them at home. It was a close encounter that day. I think they'll stay in it until the last minute, so we have to be preparing for that sort of attritional game. But yeah, they've definitely got some skill and some players we need to watch, but I think we'll be spending the week focusing on us and really sort of, I suppose there's a bit of reflection in that, looking at how good we have been this year, how good some individuals have been, and how important it is for them to bring it this week.